At least my chalkboard's working. I've had issues with it for a while. Yeah. Alright. Dude, get that set up. Got everything else set up. Okay. Ooh, over here. Yeah, you're good right there. Alright, where were we? I think we were at the end of the birthday party. So we did the archery. Just that. Oh. Now let's make this a little up. Testing. Oh. Okay. That's still good? Yeah, we're still good. Alright. Now we got it. Whee! So yeah, we are at the joining of the guild. Give myself a little space. Stretch. Okay. Oh, word count. What was our word count? Well, 9,000. 9,170. It's display. You guys can see. No, the word count's off screen. Frick. 1 second. No, not me. No, not that. There we go. Gotta modify the size a little bit. I thought I had it good. I didn't realize I had it a bit off. Oh. No, that's not good either. Ah! There we go. Ooh, that might be almost a little better than before. No, not that much. Right there, good? Ah! The Zenkin thing. This will make it a little smaller. Boop. Ah! Wait, now we can just make it a little bigger. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think that's good. Studio. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Oh god, it's so big. Ah, darn it. Okay, so it is good. I just gotta move it a little center again. Yeah. Right there. Now I'm happy. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Still good. Yeah, we're still centered. Okay. So, sounds good. Let me buy you dinner tomorrow night. Satyashko. So, Erica at the guild. I don't think we need like her waking up or doing any of that stuff today. We'll just have her like at the guild. Ooh. My stomach was in butterflies. It was finally the day. Couldn't help but smile as I filled out paperwork in front of me. My free guild registration card. That reminds me, we don't actually have our full set on what her affinities are. That's a good thing we should check real quick. Let's see. Search. Magic. How many times did I mention magic? Theo had the magic ability. Speak spider. No. Magic soldier station here. No. Thread. No. Fire magic. No. Fire magic. Also no. Alright, okay, so she does earth magic. Oh. She does earth magic around here. So geography wise, in terms of greenery, she made it ideal for my purposes. Measuring, okay. So she does an earth spell, but we don't know how good she is at earth magic on a biological level. Okay. She's a She was a grade 7 magician, 3 in healing, 2 in kinetic, and 1 in among the other elements. That's Yasuke. We did Yasuke's. We didn't write a note of that though, did we? We should note that. Yasuke, where's Yasuke? Yasuke. Affinities. Because look, forgot if I wrote down Erica's affinities. 3 healing. 2 kinetic. Wait, was it 2 kinetic? Yeah, 2 kinetic and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 unstated. Total of 7. Okay. So I don't think we did Erica's. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so we didn't do Erica. So we're gonna have to assign Erica as hers now. That's part of the guild registration process. So what do we want to give Erica? Theodore had Earth, so we could give her Earth. I would give her a connection one. Earth is kind of a standard one too that I think she'd benefit from. So let's give her affinities. Earth 2? Yeah, let's give her an Earth 2. Yeah, Earth 2. We could give her more variety and not give her a specialty, because a high-end specialty would be a 3. So let's see. What would be good for her? She's an archer, win maybe, but I don't know, it's almost cliche. Or it's kind of cliche too, because she's a ranger, but I mean, we'll put a pin in it for now. We'll come back to that. She doesn't mention it. Nope. Okay. Nope, shouldn't mention it. Got it. Oop. Okay. My guild registration. My guild registration card. I handed it in and waited to be called. Waited to be called with bated breath. Bated breath. I always did that one. Okay. So, yeah, the next thing they're gonna do is just call her for that, though. I guess we could dive into the narration of her emotions. Oh, we have Yasuko come in. So, Yasuko came out of her room as an adventurer. She got a better deal on this inn. And given the given the state of this town, the guild's inn was usually not empty, or usually not full, meaning she probably got a great deal. Erica, she said, waving, you're joining today, right? You're joining today. Erica, you're joining today, right? Oh. Okay. Ooh, why am I so tired today? You're joining today, right? Yes, she is. So, I nodded. I've prepared for this most of my life, yet here I was, still shaken like a leaf. It's okay to be nervous. I certainly was. Waiting for the assessment. So I bounce around on this point too, because Erica does come from a little bit of money. It's reasonable to assert, she asks, that Erica has measured her own affinity before now, but no, actually probably not, because the problem with her measuring her affinity is because it's pricey. She would have to pay someone to, her father would have to pay for that, and I just don't see her father doing that. Like, they really wanted to dismotivate her from becoming an adventurer, and learning her affinities would have only helped her become an adventurer. Because even if she had bad affinities, she would have been able to start training to compensate for them. So, yeah. Oh, right. We should definitely give her summon body. So, body manipulation magic. So, let's put that on our notes. Body 2. So, 4 is still a low score. 6 is a low score too. 7 is where you start to hit average. Like 7 to 8 is probably your average. Well, 7 to 9 maybe is your average. Like 6 is on the, well, I guess 5 would be low. 6 would be on the low side of average. Yeah. So Earth 2, body 2. I'm trying to think of what else would make her interesting. Because, like, ice could be interesting. Like, but I don't know. She's an archer. But I mean, I guess you could add any element to archery and it'd be interesting. The lightning arrow, ice arrow. Um, so body would work for her well since she's a ranger. Do we want it? Well, she has an element, so she has that going for her. She has the time crystal around her neck, so time would theoretically make sense for her. But I don't want to give her one of the big ones, because again, what's supposed to make Erica a good fighter is how skilled she is, not how powerful she is. You know, why don't we go with sound? Sound is one of them. Sound 2. Sound 2. So she can manipulate sound magic. Well, okay, another thing to remember here is these are just her innate affinities. It doesn't mean that she can't use other magic. These are just the ones she would have a significantly better time with. So she doesn't necessarily have to learn sound. But I do like giving it to, just like she can learn time magic even if she has a poor affinity for it. You know what? I'm going with ice. Ice is what I kept thinking. We know I change it later. Ice 1. So that gives her a 7, making her equal to Yashiko. I like the idea of them both being 7. Alright. We got the hard part out of the way. Choices are a nightmare. It's okay to be nervous. I certainly was waiting. Wait, it's okay to be nervous. I certainly was. Waiting for the assessment, she asked. Yeah. Said. I know a little magic, but I know I also am aware, don't want to use no too many times. I'm also aware that one's initial assessment is very important to one's overall magical potential. Overall, God, I'm bad with words today. That's true, but don't get too concerned over the number, she said. I smiled. She was right. Like, she had a 7, which was a perfectly respectable score. Yeah. I'd hate to comment on it now and then learn mine was higher. So I kept silent for now. Let's see. So the way the assessment works too is fairly simplistic. Mana in this case has a weight. So basically the way it'll work is, well, I guess I'm gonna write it. So, well, well, no, I guess I should write it in a way where it makes sense. So yeah, we'll just keep going. She eventually, the clerk eventually brought me to the next room. It was filled with a bunch of mana crystals on a string. Each one was a grade 2. the way the assessment worked is by flowing an exact amount of mana into them, the stones would sink by a distance relative to the added weight. Then the guy doing the assessment would cast spells from all the different crystals and compare the relative power of it was a training process that some people didn't attempt all one day, but I had been training for almost half my life. I felt I could manage this much. I smiled, thinking about Sir Theodore. He managed to do this all in one go, even if only in a small way. I wanted to follow him like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that we're getting into that mentality of how she thinks. She's very motivated by Theodore, and that permeates every part of her character. So we want to see that in every part of her character. So if there's a confusion on how that works though with the weight, so basically every crystal here being a grade 2 will double the potency of the mana inside of it, but each mana has its own level of purity. So for example, since her mana is going to have essentially a code of this, then when she flows it into an earth crystal, it's going to be twice as effective as when she, or 3 times as effective as when she flows it into, let's say, a time crystal, and it'll be twice as effective, and it'll be twice as effective when she flows it into an ice crystal as opposed to a time crystal. So this is the magnitude, you could say, well, magnitude times 10. Well, either way, this measures that kind of potency. So the way it'll work is what the person doing the assessment's doing is he's writing down how much mana she put into the rock by its new weight, which was measured by the displacement from the strain, and because they're like suspended perfectly buoyant, so the extra weight pulls them down a little bit. And then he's casting the spell and seeing how much stronger it is from essentially a normal person. So if a normal person had a 0 in Earth, which is essentially a 1, then they would create like a specific amount of sand from a create sand spell. And since her earth magic is 3 times more potent than that, she'll create 3 times more sand. And he will do the math on that of how much mana she put in and how much sand he produced from it. And when he finishes the math, that it'll equate to a 2 essentially. And that's the score she'll get. So but yeah, And that concludes my explanation of the Guild's Magic Assessment Test. Though I feel I might be repeating myself because I think someone just entered chat. Maybe? I don't know. I see it say a viewer. Welcome. Yeah, I wanted to follow him like that. So I think there's 26 crystals. I know I just fixed that mistake later from them. By the 15th crystal, I was exhausted, but I kept pushing myself. Only 11 more to go. The clerk seemed to notice and addressed me. I won't be able to measure all of this until tomorrow. Anyhow, there is no point in using all your mana today. Does that stop me from getting my guild card today? I asked. So, you don't need the results to be issued your card, but you do need to complete your side of the assessment before we can issue you a card. You continue. The results to be. You don't need the results to be issued your card, but you do need to complete your side of the assessment before we can give you a card. Before we can give you. I don't want to repeat issue there. Before we can give you a card. Then I'll keep going, I said. He shook his head. He clearly didn't approve. I could sort of understand his reasoning. After all, what difference did one day really make? If anything, he probably thought I was about to rush into a battle I really shouldn't be rushing into. And he was right. Yet, I still felt compelled. I'd been working for this goal for 5 years, and the finish line was right in front of me. How could I not? Oh, no, I don't need to fix that. I've been working towards this goal. Yeah, it is better to take that. I've been working towards this goal for 5 years, and the finish line was right in front of me. How could I not? Damn straight, girl. Girl bossing. At girl bossing. Okay, so I would love to like give this scene more weight, but I'm not really sure how to. Because I'm trying to think about it, and there's nothing technically special that should be going on here. I mean, she does have a mana crystal around her neck, but mana crystals don't like react just because they're close to each other. So yeah, you shouldn't know any time spells. She's not casting any spells. She's only dumping her mana. So uh, yeah, it feels like this would be something where we get like the cool chosen one moment, or like a particular stone glows showing that she has like a super aptitude. But as we looked at the notes, she doesn't even have a great aptitude for anything. She just has a few good aptitudes. She's just kind of average. If anything, she's slightly below average, because the average person at least gets one thing they're pretty good at, and she's just an all-rounder. Yeah, no, I guess in that sense it just should be, we don't need like a grand finisher. We just need her to just finish. The last one, number 26. I was breathing heavily and my posture was horrible, but I wasn't about to get this far and quit. I grab the last. Alright. She's not supposed to touch him. I put my hand near the last crystal and flowed the little mana I had left. I nearly collapsed in doing so, but I had managed it. He walked me back out to the lobby, and I guess we could have Yashko waiting for her. I don't know, we'll have Yashko be missing. Yashko was gone. It was like, Yashko is an adventurer. They said they'd meet for dinner. It's not dinner. So so yeah, and that'll help, because if Yashko saw her exhausted like this, I feel like Yashko would be the type that would tell her like, go rest, like come to my room, lay in a bed. You ever been in a guild room before? It'll be your first time. Go lay down. And yeah, no, she really just doesn't want to do that. She wants to go fight. Like, I have a guild card now. I can freaking fight. Which I like that for another reason too, is that she's kind of an idiot in that regard, because like, yes, you can officially fight now for the guild. Doesn't mean you should do that while you're exhausted. But you know, again, I want her to have some kind of idiot sauce on her. Like, she's 16. She's not supposed to be a genius. Watching the app, and Yashko is gone. Darn. I was kind of looking forward, chatting. Oh god, why am I so tired today? Like, I was supposed to write yesterday and I didn't because I was tired. I don't know, I've been so tired lately. Okay, we'll get through it. We try to get, what, 3,000 words we've been doing a day? We gotta get to 12,000 today, so another 2,200. It's not too much. Well, we're 25% the way done. That rate, This should take me 3 hours. I guess let's be honest, get to it. Darn, I was kind of looking forward to chatting with her. Oh well. I slumped into the guild chair in the main lobby and just tried not to fall asleep. After about an hour, a lady called me over and handed me my very first guild card. It was pristinely made. It was made. It was pristine, elegant. So in Theodore's book, I didn't comment about how it was made, and that was partially because I didn't actually like have anything to comment about how it was made. I figured it was just probably a slip of paper, but I feel like right now it'd be a lot more present to like say that it was made out of like a fancy paper. Which, funny enough, this can circle back into a philosophy of writing for me as a pantser, which I should get into. So in Theodore's first book, we discussed magical crystal details, and one of the details that was discussed is that if you took a very poor grade magic crystal, or even a good grade one to a lesser extent, there would be like trim around it that was very brittle. So like you would cut off the brittle parts, leaving only the strong crystal around. And these brittle parts were weaker than grade 2, and they couldn't be used as a mana crystal. So what they would end up doing is grinding it into a dust, and that dust would be used to make essentially magic items. So what I'm thinking of doing here is saying that her guild card was probably made from paper containing that dust, making her guild card very resilient, like burn proof, you know, almost like normal blade proof, like a normal knife butcher would have wouldn't cut it. You would need like a sword or someone that knew magic. So yeah, so that's my thought process. But the interesting thing about that is it goes to show how that pantser style kind of helps you write. Is when I wrote Theodore's story, obviously one of the first things he did was become an adventurer, and so there wasn't a lot of fanfare about his guild card. It didn't occur to me there should be, which is fine. You know, you kind of go both ways. Sometimes you'll have those ideas, sometimes you won't. But instead of sitting there and like stressing about how do I make the guild card have fanfare, I kept writing, and then in the middle of the book, you know, I started to get that detail of like, okay, well, if these crystals have to be processed, and that process removes material, hence the dust, then I had that idea about the dust, and now I can use that idea here, and then I can go back and rewrite Theodore's story, and I can reference that in his book, because obviously that's something, you know, that would be relevant to him, and how his guild card's strong and fancy, and how he would learn about dust, funny enough, before he'd learn about magic crystals, which currently it's the other way around. And it's an important philosophy because I'm going to encounter that in here. There's going to be moments where I'm not going to think that a moment deserves to be epic, or I'm not going to be able to have a great idea on why a scene's going to be epic. But because in the spirit of Nano, I don't pause on those moments. I want to push forward because I might be inspired later on. And then instead of wasting time trying to force an idea, I'll just let it come later and then I'll rewrite. I am being awfully slow if I want to keep this under 3 hours, so let's go. It's pristine and elegant. I didn't know the full process, but I knew guild cards used fire dust in their making. You know what? We should just paragraph this right here after an hour, so then we can do more without it being a huge bulk of text. This made the paper almost immune to the standard temperature or standard temperature. I always struggle with that word. Temperature of a campfire. So dust also just had generic enhancement properties, making it very resilient to non-magical matters. It felt smooth and glossy to the touch. I was very happy. So how does registering a familiar work? I asked. So that's a good question, actually, because she's had Theo for a long time, but would the guild know about Theo? Like, she's probably been to the guild a bunch of times. Maybe she never talked about Theo, or maybe she did and she just doesn't know the exact process. Like, she knows she has to register him as a familiar. That makes sense. Probably, again, I'm a pantser. I'm making this up as I go. Okay. You will need to bring the familiar here and demonstrate that it obeys you. Though the guild master has to do that, so you need to make he said. Can I schedule one now? I asked, smiling. Wait, you already have familiar? We don't schedule it before you have one, so don't go thinking you can capture one while you wait for the meeting. Yeah, I like that. We'll go with that. The town doesn't know she has a pet spider. Like, soldiers do, but the soldiers aren't affiliated with the guild. Actually, that's a good point. Her father is like the mayor of the town. He's more affiliated with the military that would be in the town, not the Free Guild. The Free Guild's independent. When her father wants to mess with the Free Guild or do things with the Free Guild, he does it more as an individual than as a mayor. So, and he really wouldn't have very many reasons to do that often. So, all right. Yep, I said. So, be right back. I have to use the bathroom. Yep, it's him. My boy Thea. She just what do we say, grimaced? Just looked confused. She just looked confused. She just looked confused. I guess new adventurers rarely had a familiar before they registered. Which, duh. The only reason you have a familiar, Erica, is because Theodore helped you get it 5 years ago. But I guess he's just been a normal part of your life for 5 years, so. So I slipped up. Guild master wasn't too busy, so they managed to give me an appointment for tomorrow. Great. That means after I get my assessment and the meeting, I could leave this town. But I was still hoping to leave 17 gold coins sooner, or richer. Richer. My mana was drained, and that did lower my top speed a bit, but that wasn't much of an issue for my plan. I slipped into the forest carefully. I knew where the servant rope usually nested, so avoiding it was easy enough. I was mainly checking on the location of my net. Alright. So let's see. I'm very torn here because on one side she's gonna be so stupid because, like, come on, don't try to fight this thing when you're not at your full strength. But then again, like, she's not a magic fighter. She's not gonna throw magic at it. The fact that she's tired doesn't really affect her that much. Like I said, it does lower her top speed, but her muscles are fine, so she could probably keep up her, like, normal speed for long enough. So I think that's why she's making that decision. I still think is her first day adventuring. It's not a smart call. But again, like I said, I kind of want to throw dirt on her. So if this is the dirt she's getting, okay, that's... So, bam. Everything was in order and tight. I whistled. Actually, Theo would have been with her the whole time. Yeah, which is reference Theo being with her. I slipped into the forest carefully with Theo on my shoulder. You ready? Oh! I asked. That's a perfect moment. We could have Theo be the voice of reason here. You know, I should make a note of that. Theo. Theo is the voice of reason. Just I don't need that LOL. Voice. Theo is the voice of reason. He's her conscience. Bet that's a trope. The voice of reason. Okay, now I'm actually curious. Trope, voice of reason. Only sane man. Okay, let's see. What's it say? Getting the feel of being the only sane man in a nut house. It doesn't make you feel superior, but depressed and scared because there's no one you can contact. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Everybody here is a fool except for me. When there's a group of characters who are all just totally weird, either in general or in a particular scenario, the only sane man is the only one who isn't. The spider is the only sane man. Wait. Oh, 5 stages of grief. Too dumb to fool. Let's see. Butt monkey. So see Cassandra Truth? What's Cassandra Truth? TV tropes is great to just, I don't know, in general. I like it to, I don't put a lot of stock into it as like something you need to do, but it's a fun rabbit hole. What is this? It is a staple of Disney and children's films where a kid hero stumbles upon an evil conspiracy. And, oh, okay, got it. I was expecting to reference like the 5-man band somewhere here, like the voice of truth will be like the Lancer or something, but I don't see any of those words, or they're here, I'm missing them. Alright, that was a fun rabbit hole. Let's go back. You ready? The better question is, are you? I can sense you're low on mana. Theo said. Better question, comma, are you? You know, I'm not really a mana fighter, so I should be fine, I said. He hissed, but I understood it was his version of a sigh. At least let me or make some web, some red traps along the way. I have no issue with that. So yeah, that makes sense. She's gonna make like a beeline towards where she thinks he's sleeping or his nest is, and Theo's gonna just like scatter some web just to slow him down when he runs. Just that's what she's doing. She's planning to go just poke the bear and then lure it into her trap. So I could see Theo being like, well, if you're gonna poke the bear, let's at least make the bear run slower. I have no issues with that. So, okay, so we started making our way over to his nest. Theo was consistently adding thread to nearby branches and trunks, offering me easy ways to access the treetop if I needed to escape, as well as trip wires for the servant road. They were likely too weak to actually capture or actually make it fall, but that was kind of the point. The webbing would stick to him, and that would slow him down. When you're running for your life, can't have too many advantages. So let's see. Okay. So first fight, battle time. Well, sort of. I mean, this is another trick to her, is that this is just like in general how she's going to be a fighter. Like, I'll definitely have moments where she gets taken off guard. Like, I have to, otherwise her fights are probably going to be boring. But as a general rule, she's a preparer, so yeah, she should win fights in the manner she's about to. Which is one of the reasons why I decided to have it be her first fight. It establishes that kind of precedent for her. So, when you run for your life, you can't have too many advantages. As I began hearing the servant throat breathing and saw a glimpse of him in the distance, I climbed a tree and drew my bow. I estimated he was about 250 feet. No, let's check that. How far can a bow, how can a hunting bow shoot? Under any other circumstances, common for an arrow to pass through. Wait. At that range, it's common for an arrow to ensure accuracy. 15 yards, dang. So 400 yards. Let's see. My personal conviction is that shooting. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So 250 feet would be just basically times 3. Would that be 70, 80, 80? Be about 80 yards. Okay, let's go down a little bit then. Here's the voice of reason. Ah, darn. So let's go down a little bit. About 100, 175 feet, which is still like 60 yards, but she's also in a magical world, and she does have mana helping her, so I feel like that's a reasonable number to give her. She's supposed to be cool. From this distance and this angle, tough shot, sort of. Chuckle. After all, sort of I chuckled. I wasn't trying to kill it, rather lure it, but I could see its eye. I could see its eyebrow, even though it was asleep. An eye shot may get me the instant. What kind of archer wouldn't at least try? I steadied my breath, took aim, and as I exhaled, I let go. The arrow flew through the air. Oh, hey, David. Welcome. Wait, I thought it was late for you around this time. Or am I thinking of someone else? But how are you doing? Welcome to my NaNoWriMo write-a-thon thingy. We're shooting for 12,000 words today. Currently, I've been managing to write like every other day, so I've been trying to do double the Nano goal, which technically would be 32,000 approximately, but oh well, you know, it is what it is. It is late. You popped in while you're sleepy. So, I don't remember. I think you saw one of my Nano streams. We're doing a writing. We're trying to write a book in 30 days during November. And we're on day 7 of November for me, but day 4 of me writing. And yeah, we're hitting our first like major battle. Got COVID and got wrecked. Oh no. Oh, oh, you got both COVID and the flu shot and got wrecked. Okay, so you didn't actually get COVID then. I was gonna say that's much different. I was concerned for a moment. But yeah, so our girl's about to get into her first battle. So she's got her adventuring card. She's an official adventurer. She's done all of her prep work, and she's about to fight a deer. Well, a deer monster. So it's like 500 kilo deer. Which, you know what? We got Google that. Let's check. How heavy is a deer? Okay, so a deer's like half that on average. Just a ret for the time being. Well, hopefully because of that you don't get sick. So reindeer, it's like half, well, it's a little under half, or it's a little over double the size of a reindeer. Still bigger than a elk. Holy shit, how big do mooses get? Okay, that's a very little moose. So it's on the upper side of a moose. Okay, that's fair. I didn't realize mooses were that big. Okay. Moose are the freaking giants of the elk world, apparently. Alright. Can a moose get to 2,000 pounds? An adult moose can range from 80 pounds to large adult male. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, the more you know. So, though this is a magical beast, we're going to work here. Oh, crap. Okay. The arrow flew through the air. They're basically horses. That's a good question. Now I'm just curious. Horse weight. Okay, yeah, so she... Wow, really? Cattle. Damn. Maybe this... I should have these things be heavier. Maybe this is a little light. Like, I thought half a ton was a big weight, but I didn't realize that's like literally the size of a horse. So Clydesdales can weigh almost a literal ton. Okay. Shit. I more I know, I guess. Okay. The arrow flew through the air and it struck the servant throat. That's just my name for deer monster, by the way. You know, the native language word for deer monster, basically. It struck the servant throat right in the... Let's go jaw. Right in... No, cheek. Damn. A miss. She was aiming for the eye. But it still served a purpose as it woke the beast up and pissed it off. I could feel the pressure from its roar, or its scream, I don't know, scream, what is scream as it stood up. Horses and mooses are basically untouchable by predators. Really? Well, I guess like you don't have horses native to like Africa where you get like the big cats, right? And mooses are also, they're like North America, so again you wouldn't have like lions in the area. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I could feel the pressure from its scream as it stood up. I launched another arrow. This time I aimed for its chest. Since it was moving, center mass was more likely to hit. Contact. Not that my little arrow could pierce its hide. Pierce its hide. But the goal was still achieved as it began running in my direction. Yeah, big cats are a different matter. Tough, they are basically far away from easy pickings, even with the hyenas and cats. Yeah, that's yeah. Because I'm imagining if horses were in Africa, they would probably be, killed to extinction at that point. Because, like, I feel like the lions would catch horses, but then again, I could be wrong. But then again, I don't think horses are native to Africa, so which might make sense because if they were, they might have already died out. So, or I could just be stupid. I don't know the rules here. Zebras are in Africa. Good point. Actually, you know what? Now I have another question. Which is faster, a zebra or a horse? 40-mile horses are faster. Okay, you know what? Point made. You win. Horses would outrun tigers, I guess, or lions. I took off running. It was intimidating to say the least, especially given that the servanthrop had already knocked down a lot of trees in this area, enhancing and enhancing its mobility, but the head start and the still reasonably dense woods gave me a clear advantage. So basically she understood because of the monster's hide, there was no freaking way she was gonna be able to kill it with her bow. Unless she got an eye shot, which she missed, so now she's running to her preferred battleground. I was so tempted to look back and fire an arrow. My heart was racing, but I pushed those feelings down as I kept fired an arrow. I was only about 15, let's say 10 minutes. I was only about 10 minutes away from my trap. But when being chased by an apex predator, that feels like a long time. Which is, I think, kind of funny in its own right because, like, obviously I know, like, deers are herbivores, aren't they? So, like it would not, you never classify a deer as like an apex predator, but at least I don't think you would, right? Again, am I gonna be stupid and not know anything about animals? But at least you don't think. I know, like, common consensus, you don't think deer and think apex predator, but in this world, deer monsters are actually one of the more common apex predators. Their antlers are just fucking, insanely powerful, and the magical, monster versions tend to be very aggressive. Like, this one found this forest and was like, mine. It was knocking down trees near its nest. So this one definitely eats meat, You know, it's more than willing to hunt prey and like eat them. So yeah, this thing's just it's a tiger in the shape of a moose, basically. I mean, I guess that would be the best description for it. It is a tiger in the shape of a moose. It will chase you and fuck you up, which is what it's doing right now. So, you know, they're the type of creature in this world where they, like I said, they're knocking down trees. They're very much like, this is my forest and I'm going to make it the way I want and I'm going to dominate all around me. And yeah. Which is why she's trying to kill it, because she's like, you know, there are other things living here, so you got to go, motherfucker. Relief came when I saw the red hint of those rocks near my setup. Theo jumped on my back. It's getting close, he said. We're almost there. I screamed as I pushed my legs further. See. I'm trying to think of where exactly. I'm trying to think of exactly how she'd spring her trap, because I understand the basic idea, but she's definitely at a disadvantage for a few seconds when she gets to where her trap is, because there's no trees, so there's like literally nothing to slow down the monster. So you could have webbing for there, like, yeah, I guess we'll have her dive through webbing, like a hole of webbing, she dives through it. So then the beast obviously can't dive through it, so he runs into it. But he's strong enough to tear it up, but it still slows him down. Yeah, let's go with that. Push my legs further. I saw my web wall with the hole in it. Dove through it. Whew, made it. Not time to celebrate. Like I said, Theo is the voice of reason. Theo said. Oh, I took a breath because I needed one, but then I resumed running. I could hear rocks breaking as the webbing ripped them from the wall on Serenanthrope's impact with the webbing. Fuck. Fun fact, there are deers with fangs. So wait, are those deers omnivores? Like, are there deers that eat meat? Or why do they have fangs? Because, like, you don't need fangs for plants, right? Or is there, like, a certain plant they eat that needs fangs? You have me curious. What is this vampire deer? Fuck. I made it past the net trap and cut the rope. Oh, it's for fighting. Okay, fair enough. God, if they didn't already invest enough for fighting with the freaking, what, like 100-pound bone clubs on their face or on the top of their head. I made it past the net trap and cut the rope nearby. And as a rock fell, a rope lifted me into the air, and I landed on the cliff about 15 feet off the ground. Whew. Well, you know, I let out a breath at my relief. I was out of range of those freaking antlers. I knew this deer had fire magic, but I wasn't as concerned with that. I was out of range. I was out of range? No, out of range. Yeah, those deer don't grow antlers. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I say, you have fangs and antlers? Like, oh my god, how much are they committing to the offensive here? The servant throw. Oh, also because it's magical, it can't actually talk. So the servant charged and rammed into the wall next to me. Coward! It shouted. Fight me. And let's see. So if she was near the pit trap, so it might actually just be over the pit trap right now. That would make sense, I think. Like, these servanthropes have essentially a warrior's ethos, so I don't think it would think about traps. Like, it wants to fight head on head, like head to head. That's how they prefer fighting, which is also kind of why she's about to win. What are you talking about? This is a fight. Didn't it? Yeah. Pick up on that? I said as I cut through a rope next to me. This one triggered a different rock to fall, and the net under the seraphim throat rushed into the air. It was made of spider silk. He has a spider. He did pick up on that part, hence the, like, webbing stuff. It was made of silk, and as a result, was not something a seraphim throat could manage to snap with just flailing. As he was raised in the air, I drew my bow, fired an arrow at another rope. Okay, so I might not have the full description here because I'm not necessarily the best at this, but the basic idea of what she's going to do is the spider silk is really tough. Like, you can't cut good strands of spider silk or spider silk rope with like a common hunting dagger. So her solution to using it for traps, when she wants to be able to cut a section of it, she actually takes a section of rope and ties the spider silk to both sides of it. So now she has a small section that can be cut. So basically, what she's doing right now is the Saravan rope was like in this middle of this valley, and the net trap pulled it directly up. But now she's shooting one of the lines that was holding it directly up, and without that line, it's going to fall into the cliffside. So if you think about it, there's two lines, one from the left and right, holding it up. And now that she's taking out one of the ropes, it's gonna whoop right into the wall. She's like, I will use your weight against you, motherfucker. Because your weight is very much the problem. If you weren't fucking, you know, a ton, then my arrows might actually do something to you. But since my arrows won't hurt you, I have to hurt you somehow. And what? Fired an arrow at another rope, not and another rope. With the flying cut, the Saravan rope fell in an arc towards the wall, bashing against it with a loud thud. Oh. Ouch. That had to hurt. I say again, coward. Fight me honest. At least then your death would be of honor, he said, as I saw flames starting to spew from his mouth. You think spider silk can hold me? I paused and watched. Honestly, I was happy with this development. You think spider silk can hold me? As the spider silk burnt up, he fell and landed into a series of jagged rocks where the net had carried him. I was actually counting on you burning it up. I know Saravan ropes are no idiots, and if you were trapped in that net for a while, you would have no doubt noticed the rocks. So eager to escape, you didn't look down. He just groaned, clearly unable to respond further. I drew an arrow and fired it straight through his eye. At this range was the Saravan throat dead. Because, you know, she's a hunter. She doesn't want it to writhe in agony as it slowly bleeds to death. So yeah, just put it out of its misery. So what do you think? Did she do good? Or is she mean for killing a freaking talking deer? I could see some people that would call her mean for killing a talking deer. But the talking deer did invade on the land and it was an asshole, so I think she's kind of justified by those points. Though you could equally argue that humans in this world capture far more land, so. But survival of the fittest, it lost. Well, it's gonna be one hell of a freaking task to collect the spoils of her victory. It's freaking filleted and threw a bunch of rocks. I'd say it's self-defense. Wait, are we saying it's self-defense even though she fired first? Like, right here, right when you got here? Or was it? I had no issue with that. Oh, right. So yeah, right about here. Glimpse, drew my bow. Yeah, when she fired the first arrow, it was sleeping. So right here, when she fired the first arrow, it was sleeping. She hit it in the face with an arrow while it was sleeping. I'm not sure I would count that as self-defense. Like, yes, it invaded the forest to her local town, and it was being a dominant presence that was very much not welcoming to other humans in the forest. Like, it was not welcoming. Like, there were people that were, you know, hunting and gathering in this forest, not monsters, but like rabbits and berries and stuff. And this thing wouldn't have allowed that. Like, if it saw a human, it would have attacked. So she didn't wait for it to attack a human or wait for it to attack her. She shot first because she wanted it dead so that people could go back to gathering in the forest. So that was her intention. I have a character who ran experiments on fraud she captured, so I'd say you're in the clear. Oh my god. Well, I mean, I suppose it'd be something she reflects in the future. I don't see her doing that. Because, like, I think her viewpoint was very much like they were, it was a dick. It was not sharing. And like a diplomatic solution she might have been open to, but Saravanthropes are warrior ethos. They're not known for diplomatic solutions. They're known for fucking ramming you and leaving a hole in your chest and then eating you. So she wanted to be able to go to the town and say, you know, it's safe. Everyone can go back. The monster's dead. Yeah. Maybe the deer had some kind of rabies illness. Well, yeah, but that undermines the point. Like, that undermines the point. So, like, I like the idea that this can be a little dirt for her, which I suppose that makes my first question stupid. Like, is she bad? Well, yeah, a little bit. Like, it's not perfect. It's not perfect morality. You know, it's not as simple as someone's 100% right and someone's 100% wrong. You know, the Saravanthrope was bad because he didn't share and he was a dick and he could not back it up and he thought he could. But the Saravanthrope was also not wrong to want to use some of the resources in the forest. And I don't think she was necessarily wrong to kill it. So I don't think this will be a weighty moment to her. I guess the reason I asked was less like if she was bad in like an empirical sense, but more like what you thought. Because there are people that would probably call her a bitch for that. Because like, you know, it didn't attack her. She's not planning to stay in this town. But like, there are also people that would probably regard her as a hero. You know, the people can go back to gathering. That makes their lives easier. You know, it was, yeah, it's, I don't know, complex. I like complex. Cervanthrop was dead. All that was left to do was cut its ears off. The proof of the kill. So yeah, the way it works in the guild is if you cut a monster's ear off, both of them, and present them to the guild, they'll accept that you killed the creature. And yes, there are people that take advantage of that by just finding a dead creature and claiming they killed it. But you know, that's just how the world works. Some people lie. The proof of the kill. So, which wasn't actually that easy since its head was like 10 feet off the ground and the rest of it was partially, you know, rock. Well, climbing was one of my skills. I'm just trying to picture that. Like, think of like 5 rocks, spikes, and the deer fell on that, so it's not touching the ground, and its head is just like, ooh. Are we winning SNG? Sing? Yeah. It's Are We Winning Daughter. Why won't you say daughter? Reginald, you make me sad. Also, well, we're up to about 11,000 words, which is pretty close to my goal, you know, of 12,000 for today. So, woohoo! And oh, we're thinking of doing anime night tonight too. So, I was thinking I'd do it here at the cafe, but I might do it like at the normal time. So, yeah. But yeah, our girl just killed the Cervanthrop, the deer monster. So, yeah, her first kill. Day 1 is an adventure, 1 kill. I'd say that's a we're winning. That's why it was. Wait. Oh. Okay, so it's kind of tricky. Usually animals don't behave that way. Man-eaters are usually specific individuals with traumatic histories regarding humans. Oh, well, is that true though in this particular case? Because I'm not saying that it was a man-eater in that sense. Like it's not a pissed off Cervanthrop that's attacking humans. They're just very territorial creatures. Like anything that it would consider a warrior that enters its land, it's gonna kill. Like, the only reason it doesn't kill everything in its territory is because that's a lot of work and it's not going to eat them all right away. So like the rabbits and stuff, it won't try to kill them all. It'll just grab one when it's hungry. But anything it views as like a fighter, so a human it views as a fighter, but if it was another Cervanthrop, there's a good chance they would try to kill each other. If it was another species that was big enough or strong enough that it considered it a threat, then it would try to kill it. Yeah. So it's just very territorial. My bad, I was making reference to a meme. You see, the meme was a father walking into their son's room and saying, "Are you winning, son?" Yes, I knew it was a meme. It's just I'm not your son, I'm your daughter. Don't you recognize me as your daughter? Don't you love me, Dad? I love you. Don't you love me, Dad? And I'm gonna scare Reginald away. Okay, so climbing was one of my skills. We don't need to narrate her going back to the guild, so we'll just scene skip. She's back at the guild. I see. It could work as a spirit. Well, what do you mean as a spirit? I'm a little confused. Like a Saravanthrope spirit? Like it'll come back? Please don't do that. Alright. I thought you'd actually be you'd be more like bad. No. I didn't think you'd just be like, please don't do that. You love me, David? Alright, so she's back at the guild. I want into guild. Still had blood over clothes, hands. Maybe I should get like, what would you get for that? Like some rags for the future. That's actually just get like, maybe I should get like, you know, I want the light, I want the stutter. Get like some rags for the future. Saravanthrope could be like a spirit or some ghostly entity. Well, no, it's just a species. It's just like literally a deer monster. It's a magical beast monster. Really? It behaves more like a ghost of some warrior than a predator? I mean, it spoke, so I suppose in that sense you can't like relate speech to a real life animal besides humans, or at least not speech that we can understand. But I thought the rest of it just sounded like kind of standard territorial behavior. Like, you know, if you enter its space, it doesn't like it. Like, also, I like this right here. I like writing lines like this for her. Where it's, maybe I should get some rags for the future. I love the idea that she didn't already have like just dirty or just like general rags for wiping blood off her hands, because I feel like that's the perfect kind of thing that she wouldn't realize. Like, she's been training for 5 years to be an adventurer, so she's practiced climbing trees, she's practiced firing her bow, she's practiced, you know, how to set up traps, but she hasn't lived in the forest overnight. She always goes home. So she goes home and washes her hands, you know, she goes home and you know, gets everything, you know, gets all cleaned up. But soon she's not going to be able to go home. She's going to be traveling. So I love the fact that she's like, she's naive in that sense, where she's like, oh, right, there's a lot of shit I don't know about this whole, you know, traveling thing. Because that, you would expect that. You wouldn't expect her to know everything about traveling. She's never done it before. So now for the future. This time I had settled mostly on just wiping it on my pants. Yeah, because she's never really killed before. Like, she might have like killed like a rabbit or something while hunting, but she's never killed like a big monster, so she's never seen like that amount of blood before. So I can see the idea that she got way messier than she expected. She is still not feral, a domestic human. Well, yeah, but I'm not saying she didn't know what a rag is. I was just saying that she didn't like prepare properly. Like, you know, she, like, if you looked at her knapsack, it might have been like, shit, I need more rads. Like maybe she only had one or something to get some. Oh, there we go. We could go get some more rads for the future. See, there we go. We can fix it up a little bit. Or maybe she had a couple, but she's like, holy shit, I underestimated how many I would need. Because, you know, she hadn't done it before. So, you know, she's learning. That's what the story is. That's what the book is. She's on an experience. She's learning. We want to learn with her. And in original like this, part of that is that she needs to fail, because then she learns. And failures don't have to be big. Sometimes they can be small, you know, that she didn't remember to pack enough rads, or she didn't realize she needed to pack, you know, certain items that she's taken for granted that are always at home, you know. This time I'd settled mostly and just wiping on my pants. I walked up to the guild counter. I thought killing the deer monster was her big goal. Why did she do it a quarter way through the book? Incorrect. Killing a bat monster is her goal, sort of. So we go back to our notes. The climax is gonna be her fighting Chirathrope, not a Cerebro. So the Chirathrope, the bat monster, is what originally tortured her. The one that specifically tortured her is already dead. She wears its heart around her neck as a necklace because Theodore killed it. That's when he saved her. But because she was tortured by a bat monster, she still is very much triggered by them. So when she sees a bat monster, she's going to like have a panic attack. She's going to start, you know, shaking. She's going to essentially lose all of her confidence. So the climax is her having to, you know, muster up the courage to fight something she's scared of like that. So the Cerebro was not her initial challenge. And I say, even then, she's not actually looking to fight a Cerebro. Not Cerebro, a Chirothrop. She's looking to just be a hero. Her goal is just to be a hero. She doesn't have to fight specific monsters as a goal. She's not like looking for a specific monster. She just wants to be a hero. So it's not really her goal to find a specific monster. But that is something she's going to have to deal with because, you know, as an adventurer, she can turn jobs down. So she could, like, it's a legitimate choice that when she encounters the bat monster, she could say, I'm too scared, and she could just skip it and not fight it. Of course, that's not the decision I plan to make her make. I want her to fight it. I want her to, you know, embrace that challenge and work past it. What is she doing to move her along to killing the monster? What is she doing to move her along to killing the monster? By the monster, do you mean the one she just killed or the bat monster? Like the bat monster I'm going to have her kill as the climax. Can you clarify that point, please? Okay, let's get back to it. Maybe I should get like some more matches for the future. Yeah, that'd be a smart idea. Definitely a smart idea. The bat one. Well, I mean, she just killed a deer monster. Like, that's part of how she's moving along. She's, you know, she's gaining experience. She just got her guild card. What steps are you taking to kill the bat monster? Yeah, you know, not sure I 100% understand what you mean by like what steps are she taking to kill the bat monster? Well, actively she's not taking any steps. She doesn't know she's going to encounter a bat monster. So I said her personal goal isn't to kill a specific monster. It's to kill plenty of monsters to save people. I, as the author, know that the climax is going to be her having to face a bat monster. But if you're asking what is she doing to prepare herself for bigger fights, well, that's the current fight she's doing. She just fought a deer monster essentially by herself and managed to win. Her win came from her ingenuity, not her raw power, but she saved some of the people in this town that relied on going into the forest because they couldn't do that while the deer monster was there. So yeah, she already in a sense accomplished one step of becoming a hero. Now, is she going to do other things to increase her ability as a hero, like before she fights the bat monster? Absolutely. She's going to make friends. She's going to travel to various cities. She's going to fight various monsters. She's probably going to end up making herself some like fancy armor. She's, going to find rare materials. A lot of stuff's going to happen before she gets there. So I don't know. Does that answer your question? If that doesn't answer your question, then could you rephrase your question? Because I feel like I got your question there. I think. Okay. I walked up to the field counter. Does she have a quantifiable goal? Becoming a hero is not quantifiable. It's vague and undefined. No, she doesn't have a quantifiable goal then. Yeah, in that sense, no, she does not have a quantifiable goal. I don't think she needs a quantifiable goal. Again, unless you want to say when she says hero, she wants to travel from town to town, finding people that are in need of help and helping them. If you consider that quantifiable, then yes, that is her quantifiable goal. If you don't consider that quantifiable, then no, she doesn't. She doesn't know what people are going to need, and she doesn't necessarily know which town she's going to go to. So you define that as an author. No quantifiable goal. Well, again, it depends on what I just said about if you count what I just said as unquantifiable or not. Because if you want to say hero's too vague, well, again, does her wanting to travel from town to town, helping people, does that count as quantifiable to you? I think it could count, but even if it doesn't, it's fine. Not everyone has specific goals in mind. I think she's allowed to have a unspecific goal. I'm writing a story about her journey, about how she learns and grows and becomes better, So the story isn't about a specific action she takes. The story is about how she grows. So yeah, she's a little aimless. I think that's okay. There is no hard definition. It's vague. Well, she literally wants to go to town who are having difficulties with monsters and kill monsters. I feel like that is a quantifiable thing, but again, okay. If it's not quantifiable, shouldn't have a quantifiable goal then. I think she doesn't need one. I don't think it's mandatory. This time, I'd settled mostly on wiping on my pants, walked over the guild counter. I was still out of breath. Stamina recovered way slower when you're low mana. When you are, stamina recovers way slower when you're low mana. I need I need to secure a pickup, I asked. I think that's I think that's what they call it. That I think I asked. Oh, I missed the word thing. I think that's what they call it. It's east. Oh wait, we'll have her ask. Certainly. Standard rate is 2 silvers, but it can be increased if it is especially difficult. The clerk lady said. Yeah, this one is definitely gonna be difficult. I said, placing gold coin down. It's over by the east side of the forest on the middle ledge by the cliffs. I genuinely can't think of a piece of media that doesn't have a large overarching quantifiable goal. Can you? Let's see. Well, again, I think that depends on what you're counting as a quantifiable goal. I mean, if you want a tangible example, My Little Pony's original plot, or at least Gen 4, the one I watched, was the character was trying to make friends. I mean, if we're saying that helping people is not quantifiable, then I'm guessing making friends is not quantifiable. But that was a beautiful show, you know? And if we're saying that taking a path of self-discovery doesn't count as quantifiable, then yeah, there's tons of examples of shows where characters don't necessarily know what they want to do in the beginning. You know, they're figuring that out. That's part of the story. I mean, you know. So again, if hero's not quantifiable, what about Pokemon? Ash wants to become a Pokemon master. What, you know, is that quantifiable? You know? So yeah, no, I mean, if you're saying as an author, well, as an author, I told you I want her to overcome her trauma, but she doesn't know that she's going to be faced with her trauma because she's not seeking it out. So if you're asking what my goal for her is, well, yes, I have a goal for her, but that's not the same as her personal goal. So does that help there? So yeah, this one is definitely going to be difficult. I said placing one gold coin down, so over by the east side of the forest on the middle ledge by the cliffs. Oh my. What is it? Yeah. I placed the severed ears down. The Seravan throat that recently invaded the forest. Okay, MLP making friends is a quantifiable goal. If making friends counts as a quantifiable goal, why does her wanting to kill monsters to save people's lives not count as a quantifiable goal? Like, what exactly is the definition of quantifiable goal? Also, in Pokemon, Ash does not say his goal is to win a championship. He says his goal is to become a Pokemon master, which he never explains what exactly makes a Pokemon master. Presumably, winning is part of that, which is why he enters tournaments. But he never specifically states that he intends to win a specific tournament. So it is up to you to make a hard definition on what being a hero is to Erica. Well, okay, two things. One, I don't think you need a hard definition. Crap. Did I just did I kill my mic? Oh no, my mic's working. I don't agree with that. I don't think you have to have a hard definition. I disagree. Fundamentally, I disagree. You know, I think I made her goal in that regard clear. She wants to fight monsters to help people. I think that's a clear goal. Like, that's literally what she just did. She just fought a monster to help people. Like, so yeah, I disagree fundamentally. Servanthrop that recently invaded the forest. The room went quiet. She looked at the ears for a moment. Really? But you just registered today. I nodded. Is that a problem? I asked. No, it's just certainly unusual. Usual. I feel like that. Is that right? Okay. He said. I'm afraid I can't give you the full. I can't give you the payout right away for a bounty like this. We would need to verify the absence of it in the forest. That's fine, but I get like a mark or something, right? I asked. She nodded and took my guild card. And wrote something on the back. I smiled, thinking about it. My first big kill. My first badge of honor. A Servanthrop. Just like you, Theodore. Just like you, Sir Theodore. Sir, not Sire, Sir Theodore. I was truly happy in this moment. Truly happy in this moment. At that moment. Truly happy. No, I like this moment. I like this in this moment. Truly happy in this moment. Alright. Oh, did we lose David? He might have fell asleep. It seemed like he wasn't feeling too good today, so. Ooh, or we might have lost Reginald, I guess. But Reginald did seem like they're being more active today, so maybe not. Ah, okay. Let's see. 800 more words. Uh, uh, and I can't write tomorrow, so I have to really do it. Even then, I'm just gonna still be behind. Date. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look up the map. Oh, David's still here. Okay, we lost Reginald then. 1677 times 9. Yeah. By Saturday, I'm supposed to be at 15,000 words bare minimum. If I get to 12,000 today and I can't write tomorrow, that means I'd have to do another 3,000 on Saturday. We're working, I guess. This is where it's gonna start to get hard too on Saturday, because I really don't have ideas what I'm gonna do at that point. Like, all of this, I've kind of been coasting for a while. So, you know, again, we're talking about my process, so why not? So the idea of her fighting a Seraphanthrop, I knew for a really long time. It was an idea I had when I first thought of the story. I thought I might have put it more in the middle of the book, but back here, when I had her in the forest, I had her, yeah, so like page 8, I had her just in the forest, doing some random shit, you know, just like training basically, like, you know, climbing trees. And I thought, okay, well, what if she spots a monster and saves a kid? Go disrupt? What? I don't understand. So at about here, page 8, she saw a Seraphanthrop, because I decided that Seraphanthrop are fairly common monsters, and said, you know, fuck it, let's have a Seraphanthrop be our first monster. And so that was page 9. As we see, yeah, page 9. Oh, descriptions, maybe a dream. I like writing dreams. There is a book where I need to write dreams better, now that you mention that, but that's not today's podcast. So the point I'm getting at is that page 8, I knew I was going to have when I first write Seraphanthrop here on page 9, I knew at that point in time that I was going to have her fight it. And here we are at page 26 of her fighting it. So that was kind of like my last idea right now. And I know Yashko is going to be who she meets up with, and she's going to have dinner with Yashko. There's going to be like a big commotion right now about how she has killed a Seraphanthrop. But when that ends and she gets paid, she wants to leave town. And I don't know where she's going. Like, she doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't really have a plan. So, yeah, when it comes to Saturday, I'm gonna be kind of like just dropped into it. So, but that's part of the fun, I suppose. Oh, but there was one thing that really was kind of beautiful about the first thing she fought being a Seraphanthrop, which is right here, that it gave her a connection to Sir Theodore, because the Seraphanthrop was the first thing he killed, and yeah, she wants to be like Theodore. So, I turn around. Yeah, wandering, yes. But the point is still sort of the same, that wandering might be what she's doing, but I have to start, you know, throwing those ideas out, like, where is she wandering to? You know, what's happening over there? You know, how is she going to deal with those problems? And that's a lot of questions. So, you know, I'm not saying it'll be bad, just what's on my mind right now. So, I turned around and saw Yashko. Oh, hey, I said. Hi, she said excitedly. Everyone staring. Did I miss something? Oh, I already said. She said. Should be quite an episodic story, perhaps. Every chapter, different stuff. Oh, that's a good point. This will probably be the end of chapter 1. I titled chapter 1 The Guild. And now that she got her official guild card, I feel like... Actually, no, wait. Yeah, no, not today. I don't think we'll get to all of that today. But when she leaves town, that'll be chapter 2. Wandering. But yeah, no, definitely it's an episodic type of story. Because I want her to meet new characters too. I want her to like form an adventuring team. And standard adventuring team would probably be 4 to 5 people. Maybe more. She already got one person on her side, so funny enough, it was someone in chat that was here when I needed a new character that helped me create Yasuko, because I thought it'd be fun to create a character with someone just in the moment. So now we got our girl Yasuko. So maybe if you're here when I need this 3rd member of their party, you'll help me create the 3rd member. Okay, idea for a story. She tries to kill some bird for food, but the bird is way too evasive. Like monster bird or like a normal bird? Everyone staring? Did I miss something? I won our bet, I said with a grin. Bet? Wait, you mean the servant bro? Who killed it? She asked. Okay, we gotta do the Yasuko voice. I like the Yasuko voice. I turned around and saw Yasuko. Oh, hey. Hi, she said excitedly. Everyone is staring. Did I miss something? I won our bet, I said with a grin. Bet? Wait, you mean the Seraphanthrope? Who killed it? She asked. Normal bird just dodges arrows. I mean, I'm not sure that's like an episode, but it could certainly happen. Ooh. I smiled and pointed my thumb at myself. Me. You? She said. Seriously? She paused and noticed the blood on my hand closed. Oh my. Are you hurt? Do you need healing? I need healing. Story where she's hungry. Yeah, but well, not. You know what? You might be onto something, because I'm gonna say she has money. She could just buy food. But if she's like in between towns, that could be funny. Like a super elusive bird when she's in between towns, and it's pissing her off because she's good at archery, but the bird fucking dodges her arrow. So it's not that she's missing; it's dodging. That yeah, that could be fun. That could be a scene. Maybe we'll see. We'll see where we end up going. I'll be doing this whole book live. That's the event today. I'm writing an entire book live, so you won't miss any of it. If you decide to like watch all. I mean, at our current rate, it's like an hour every 1,000 words. That'd 50,000 hours, or no, 50 hours. That'd be like a full week. Holy cow. Okay. Well, are you hurt? Do you need healing? Yeah, she technically not hurt. She's tired. Only thing I need is dinner. Need is dinner. I said, rubbing hands together. And then remembering the blood. Okay, and I guess a shower. It's funny if it's a woodcock. You mean a woodpecker, or a pheasant, or the more normal and mundane the bird, the funnier. Yeah, that's true, but you risk potentially making her look bad. Because remember, she's an archer. Like, a normal bird should be an easy shot for her. Like, you know, she's supposed to be good at that. Like, it's one thing if it's a special bird she's never seen before, but if it's just a normal bird that's just like laughing at her attempts to shoot arrows, yeah. So I guess that does make it funnier, but it also makes her look weak. So it's a trick. Instead of rubbing my hands together, then remembering the blood. Okay, I guess I need a shower. Woodcock. I've never heard of a woodcock as a bird. Alright. I mean, we're doing that kind of day. Why not? Woodcock bird. So this? Aw, it's adorable. Why would you want to kill that? I would want to pet it. It's adorable. Given its name, I thought it was going to look funny or something, but it's so pretty. It's so fluffy. I want to pet it. Beautiful burb. Beautiful bird. We can't have her kill something that beautiful. No, it'll be a monster woodcock that she never manages to kill because it's still the size of a normal woodcock, but because it's magical, it can like fly at like supersonic speeds. She doesn't stand a chance. That is correct. We do have a Discord, David, that everyone is welcome to join. We do anime nights over there occasionally, cause yeah. I don't do watch-alongs on YouTube because that's copyright infringement. So yeah. Yeah. Wanna use mine? Oh, wait. It's a good point. Individual rooms don't have showers. So that's actually a great point. You gotta advertise that more often. I do tell people when people are here. I probably told David before. It's in the description. I don't like just say it randomly over the air. You know, if someone's here, I let them know most of the time. I guess I could shower. I guess I guess a shower. Could I use yours? Mine? What do you mean? She said. Your room? Doesn't it have a shower? I asked. She chuckled. Oh. Oh no. No normal inn has Uh, hey. Actually, would it be a shower? This kind of era? We can worry about that another day. No, no normal inn has space for an into. Oh, you're 72. You know, I think I knew that, and I just forgot. Oh God, I feel bad. Why did I forget that? Uh, remembering names is not my biggest strength. This is why my notes list names. Adventurers, Yasko. 72, nice. I still have to read your story, so I haven't forgot yet. I just was super busy that night and I didn't manage to get to it, and yeah, no, I still feel bad about that. Usually use wash basins back then. That's what I was thinking. I'm still not gonna retype it because I just don't care right now. Again, that's part of the thing for me in Nano, is I don't want to hyper focus on editing. So it was a thought that occurred to me, but I can always do that like a different time. Plus, funny enough, shower might still be valid here because, you know, Erica came from a rich environment. So, you know, she's kind of showing that privilege here where she's thinking that all of the inns have like a bathroom. And it's like, no, the bathroom is just one room in a common area. And it's not even always in the guild. So, like, oh no normal inn has space for a bath in every room. That would be such a waste. Actually, this inn doesn't have a bath at all. See, we can show her. I have a bath in every room. We can show her ignorance because she's comes from money. What? I asked. How the heck do you clean up? Well, I mean, a lot of nights with some rags by a river, but towns do have a bath, just not for individual use, he said. I guess as the Lord's daughter, you didn't know that. A lot of nights, lots of nights, a lot of nights, a lot of. The hell did I? Oh, a lot of nights. Okay. It was the of I forgot. Yes, not. I said. Do you know where Bath is? She doesn't even know where it is. Yeah, sure. Follow me, she said. Apparently, the bath house was usually close to the guild if the guild didn't have. Sometimes a big town would have 2 or 3. This town apparently had 2. Sleep well, David. I've thought about it, but I still have questions about how you're going to write the goal. Just the baseline. What is her goal? Sure. Well, as I mentioned, you want to think in specifics. At the start of the book, her first goal was to get her guild card. I'm not sure I really want to quantify that as a goal because technically anyone can get a guild card once they turn 16. So it wasn't like it was a challenge for her to get a guild card. She just had to wait till she was 16, which is what she did. She wanted the guild card because it gave her the freedom to be an adventurer. The guild tracks your progress. It's a merit thing, you know, like the fact that her guild card says she's killed a Seravanthrope, people will take that as credit that she's killed a Seravanthrope. So she's acknowledged for her accolades. So she wants to be an adventurer. More specifically, I guess, potentially, I don't know if this is better than me saying she wants to be a hero. Technically, she wants to be like Theodore. So, given that she was traumatized by a bat monster, Theodore is the one that saved her, and she wants to pay it forward. She's like, Theodore saved me, I want to save other people. So, in that sense, her goal, now that she has a guild card, and that she can accept quests from the guild, and that she can ask for the guild's help and things like that, she wants to go to towns that seem to be in trouble or are struggling for whatever reason, and she wants to go kick some ass. She wants to help them. She doesn't have a more specific goal than that. You could say that's a weakness to her, that she's not thinking things through, and that's perfectly valid. Right here, she doesn't know that, you know, in this culture, you have bathhouses. You don't have individual restrooms in a room you'd rent. So she is very ignorant about the world. So you could say that her ignorance is a weakness. But if you ask, like, what is her more precise goal? Killing monsters is her precise goal. Like, that's really all she got. Killing monsters, saving lives, because she views those acts as being like Theodore. So what does it take to be like Theodore? What steps can she take to be like Theodore? Oh, what? I answered that before you asked. Theodore saved her by killing a monster, so she wants to save people by killing monsters. That's what she views as being like Theodore. So sometimes a big town would have 2 or 3. This town apparently had 2. So it wasn't much of a thought. And when we got in, we were greeted by a couple. There wasn't much. We'll move this down a line. 2 lines. Oh, darn it. When will she have killed enough to be like Theodore? How strong does she have to be like Theodore? She would. I mean, I'm gonna answer this how she would answer this. That's not how it works. You know, like, even if there was a specific number that let her be like Theodore, she doesn't know that number, nor does she care. She just wants to do good work. Like, you know, like, even if she hypothetically completed that number, like we said, it was 45 monsters, and she's like Theodore. Once she kills 45 monsters, she's not going to stop killing monsters. That's her plan for her life. She wants to spend her life helping people. You know, it's kind of like if you said her goal was to become a seamstress. Like, once she becomes a seamstress, she's still gonna do that. So does that make sense? She doesn't plan to stop. At least currently, she's not thinking about that. Wasn't much of a walk. I got there greeted by a couple. Hello. Saying hello. How may we help you? Looking for a shower? I said. How many lives does she have to save to be like Theodore? I think I understood your point. I mean, like I said, that's not how she's gonna view it though. Like, not only that, it's not how I view it. Like, you know, there's no magic number where she's like 44, she's not like Theodore. 45, she's done it. That's just not how I view that concept. I mean, in a sense, well, wouldn't she done enough? I mean, that's the thing though, is that's not her goal. Her goal is not to meet a quota. Her goal is to do this as her job. You know, it's kind of like saying how many dishes until you've done enough dishes. Like, as long as there's dishes that need to be done, you got to do dishes. You know, it's, as far as she's concerned, as long as there's people that need help, she wants to be someone who helps them. Like, her goals might change. In all likelihood, her goals will change. She'll likely retire at some point. But that's not something she's thinking about. She's literally on her first day. So, I'm looking for a shower? Shower? She asked. Where's the finale of the story? Well, I told you, the finale is the bat monster of this story. But she doesn't know that. So it's not her goal because she's unaware of it. Remember, you gotta look at it from those two different angles. There's the author side of what I know, and then there's the character side of what she knows. Also, 1 second, I have to pee.
Club meeting fee is $5. Includes 3 hours of fun playing. Be part of the Rainbow Six local community. Learn more at coopers.gg.
Not finality. Well, yeah, but I mean, I still have the same answer. She's going to face a bat monster. That's going to be a moment where she proves her heroic nature. You know, that's a moment where. So the main difference between her and Theodore right now is Theodore fought defensively. He was not an aggressor. He was not looking for monsters. He saved people because they needed to be saved, but he was scared. Erica, on the other hand, wants to fight monsters to save people. She's not necessarily scared. So when she sees the bat monster, it's going to scare her. And that fear is going to put her at her darkest hour. And the finality, or the finality, am I saying that right? The finality, the conclusion, is her overcoming her darkest hour, where she's facing her fear and she's killing, you know, this bat monster where she's accomplishing something that she didn't know she had in her. Like every part of her being wanted her to run away. Like the biggest challenge she's faced, the hardest challenge she's faced, and she does it alone and she's scared, but she manages it. That's the finale. That's the sense of a conclusion. Does she stop being an adventurer at that point? No, but that's where this story stops, and I think that is a conclusion. I think that gives a conclusion. It's also a full circle because her life, you know, had this traumatic moment where a bat monster almost took her life, and this is where she's shown that she's grown strong enough where she could beat the bat monster. She could take its life back. You know, she took her life back, but she's still gonna be a hero, an adventurer.
It's a free world.
So the shower we don't have showers. The couple bed, only the big bathhouse. They both smiled. They both smiled looking at us. Yes, Go chuckled. The other one might have a shower, he said. Oh, she said. No, I want to adopt that one. Oh, they might have a shower, she said. Though can't be certain of it. Have you never taken a bath in public before? I blushed. No? You have? I asked. What the heck was this? Was showering? I was bathing in public standard or something? Yeah, girl, your life was not the standard. You were rich. Well, you plan to travel, right? She asked. As an adventurer? I nodded. Definitely. Well, might as well get used to it. She said as she handed over a couple copper coins. I guess so. How much is the bath? Asked. 2 copper, the lady said. 3 if you get soap. I handed over 3 copper coins and followed Gas Go. It's cheaper to buy your own soap from a general store. she said. But I guess that's also something you didn't know. Seems there is a lot you didn't know, I said as we made our way to the back. Holy cow! Like, I understood the words bathhouse, but I thought it was going to be like compartmentalized. No way. Compartmentalized. Compartmentalized? Oh, is that actually close? Holy shit, cool. Compartmentalized baths or some wall dividers or something? It was just everyone. Like 30 people. Just all in the same water. What? This can't be clean. You, oh. You okay? Yeah, Joe asked. You look like you'd seen a ghost. I think I have. The ghost of dirty water. That can't be. That can't be hygienic. Can't be hygienic, I asked. No. It depends. Sometimes not. Sometimes yes. I'd say about a 50 here. But I have a thing for that, he said. Like, think about the end of another piece of media that we both know so we can discuss how their end has finality. Yeah, what's... Oh. Angie face? I didn't mean the Angie face. Why am I in the Angie face? So a piece of material that has a sense of finality that we've both seen. And shit, well, I don't know, you put me on the spot like that. I'm like, what are things we've both seen? And if you're saying the, okay, so let me quantify a question there. When you say ending, is ending of a season good enough? Or do you mean like the end of the story entirely? Superhero 60, welcome. You made it to the tail end. How am I? I'm okay. Reginald is drilling me on the concept of a conclusion. You missed it. Our girl fought a Seravanthrope and killed it. So we had all this right here. Right? Yeah. So we've done from here 22 to 28. So you've missed 6 pages. The ending of season might work depending on the context. So I don't know things we've both seen. Like that would work for your concept of finality. I mean, I still don't see how her fighting a bat monster is a bad sense of finality though. Like how is she overcoming a trauma from when she was 10? You know, and she's fighting to save people. Have you read The Hobbit or something? No, I've not. I've seen the animated movie, but I haven't read the book now. I'm gonna keep writing now. I have a thing for that, she said. You actually arrived at an interesting point, Superhero 60, because we're learning that our girl Erica is very, very not smart when it comes to how the world works. Because she was raised in a rich house, so she's like, oh shit, normal people don't have showers in their home in this world? Nope. They go to a bathhouse, so she's visiting her first bathhouse. So she's like, look at this. Let's see. It seems there's a lot I don't know. I said as I made her way back to the back. Holy cow, like I understood the words bath and house, but I thought it was going to be like compartmentalized baths or some wall dividers or something. It's just everyone, like 30 people just all in some water. What? This can't be clean. Harry Potter? I've seen the movies. I haven't read the book. Romeo and Juliet. Well, that wasn't a book, but I am familiar with the story of Romeo and Juliet. If that's what you want to go with, though, that almost seems like a bad example for what you're talking about. The finality is that they both died not achieving their goal. Like that's a tragedy. That's anticlimactic. I thought you were getting a climax. You wanted a proper climax. Romeo and Juliet doesn't give you a proper climax. It denies you what you want, which is what makes it a beautiful story. But I mean, I am somewhat familiar with the story of Harry Potter. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, but I am familiar with it. If you want to use that. Okay. But I have a thing for that, Yashko said. Oh, yeah, your girl Yashko is coming in clutch here, Superhero 60. She's like, you don't know about bathhouses. I got you covered, girl. Oh, divine maiden. Maiden? Maiden? Is that maiden? No, maiden. Yeah? No. Maiden. There we go. Words. I'm supposed to be good at those. Oh, divine maiden of the holy lakes, hear my prayers. Fill my voice with healing magic and bless these waters. Tier 1. Healing. No. Cleansing voice. Cleansing words. As she spoke, it was like a small section of the water turned much clearer, and definitely looked cleaner as she slowly walked in. She kept speaking, and the water all around her became clear. It only affected about a, call it 10 feet diameter, but it was something at least. So, finality of Harry Potter comes from the defeat of Voldemort and evil, and his goal has been accomplished. Yeah, but you actually bring up an interesting point there, because Harry Potter's original goal was not to defeat Voldemort. In the beginning of the book, Harry Potter didn't know who Voldemort was. Harry Potter didn't know he was a wizard in the beginning of the first book. And when he learned he was a wizard, he still didn't know who Voldemort is. If you were watching, you know, the someone or the girl write Harry Potter like you're watching me write this book, if we were still, you know, like at the Sorting Hat kind of level of the story, and you asked me what's the goal of the plot, and I said it was to kill Voldemort, and you'd ask what is Harry Potter doing to accomplish that goal, I would be able to say nothing, because he doesn't even know who Voldemort is. He doesn't know that that's something that's going to become his goal. Harry Potter's only goal for most of the first book is to, like, go to school. Like, once he, like, finds about some of the conspiracy theory shit, yeah, he gets a little interested, but, you know, Harry Potter's original goal was not to kill Voldemort. Like, even in book 2, I don't think that was his goal. Not even in book 3. Like, that did not become his goal until much later in the story. Erica's goal is not to kill the bat. Her goal is to become a hero. Presumably, she'll be a hero until she retires or dies. So when she retires or dies, that would be the true sense of finality. No. Just no. I mean, finality to her life? Sure. But, like, that's not the finality of the... That's not where you would get the sense of conclusion from a story. Like, look, the story can end with her having more adventures unsaid. Like, the same could be true of Harry Potter. Harry Potter killed Voldemort, but then he got wife and children and, you know, started raising them. And more bad guys, more evil could appear and threaten Harry Potter. He could have easily had more adventures that we didn't see. It's not just you defeated one bad guy and then you live off in the pasture of honey and grapes for the rest of your life. Like, you know. So, but plus your argument about Harry Potter contradicts the problems you have with what I'm doing, because Harry Potter did the exact same thing I'm doing. Harry didn't know about Voldemort. She doesn't know about the Bat Monster. It's the same thing. Ooh. All right. Oh, 200 more words. We can get there. Let's finish the bath scene, then we'll call it a day. It only affected her about a 10 feet diameter, but really something. I got my clothes off and slid into the water. Holy heck, it was cold, or sort of. I guess hot water was another luxury. There was like 2 chapters in the first book of the entire 8-book series where he doesn't know about Voldemort. His goal is to defeat Voldemort throughout most of the story. Okay, even if Voldemort's name was dropped like early on, I think you're right. Like he who must not be named was mentioned fairly early on. That was not Harry Potter's goal. Harry Potter's goal in book 1 was not to kill Voldemort. Like, bullshit. His goal was to, like, I know he had the whole conspiracy theory thing about, well, I guess stopping, like, he thought, well, actually, no, let me think about that. I guess he wanted to stop Voldemort from getting the Sorcerer's Stone, because that was the conspiracy angle. But his goal wasn't to, like, kill Voldemort. Voldemort was, like, dead or partially dead until the Goblet of Fire, wasn't it? So, yes, you're correct that Voldemort was the primary antagonist, the primary motivator for the evil deeds in the story. And you're correct that that's established fairly early on. But that doesn't mean it was Harry's goal, you know? And again, we're 28 pages in. Like, though it's not like we're gonna get to her learning about a bat monster anytime soon, because it's not as, you're correct in that one sense. It's not an established plot line in that sense. Like, she has a specific white whale she's going after. She doesn't need a white whale to go after, though. She's basically becoming a cop. We understand that her life as a cop is going to have conflict. You know, it's like you get mad at a buddy cop show for not having, like, a Moriarty character. Like, Sherlock Holmes can just solve mysteries. He doesn't need a Moriarty to be cool. So, okay, so got off my clothes and slid into the warm, or the sort of the lukewarm water. Grabbed soap the lady gave me. It was rough, but at least it worked. So, do you prefer bath houses or rivers? I asked. Depends the season, she said. In winter, it's almost a requirement to find what, during the winter, depends on the season. Oh, right, they don't say winter in this world, they call it water season. In water season, it's always better to find in, but in fire season, the river can be quite nice. So, if you are lucky and find a perfect size lake, that is the most ideal, especially since I can do a little water magic to warm it up. Go up. And big lakes are bad for that? I asked. She nodded. Takes too much mana it's too much mana to keep a large body of water warm up with mana. Interesting. I had a lot to learn about being an adventurer. Don't you see how having an open-ended goal leaves stories without a proper sense of finality? No, I don't agree at all. Okay, also, Harry defeats Voldemort. His goal is to defeat Voldemort. Goal accomplished. Sure, he could have other villains, but they aren't Voldemort. Um, yeah, but still, no, I disagree. Like, fundamentally, I disagree. You know, I could actually give you an interesting example. And this was beloved this recent anime season, and it's really a beautiful story. Frieren. Frieren starts with the final goal already being accomplished. The heroes come back from their adventure, they've already defeated the Demon King, and they just retire. That's the opening page. Then about like 75 years later, the character Frieren, who is an elf, so she doesn't like age properly, decides to go on another adventure where she's just retracing her steps from her old adventure. Her only goal is just to look at her old memories. Like, but it's a beautiful story. It's beautiful, and the emotions that seeing these sites brings to her, seeing how some of the places she's visiting are gone. They didn't survive 80 years. Other places, they changed a lot, and some places haven't changed at all. And it invokes a lot of emotions to see her going through all of that. But she doesn't have a goal. Like, even revisiting these places, she doesn't have a goal in mind. She's literally will tell you as much. She wants to revisit these places because she doesn't know what she wants to do. She's literally wandering with no sense of purpose. And it's a beautiful story that was well received, and rightly so. It's a beautiful story. So, yeah, it's just, it's like, there's not one single thing that a story has to have. You know, you can have an anticlimactic story, you can have a climactic story, you can have an action story, you can have a romance story, you can have a story with clear goals and stakes, you can have a story that's more open-ended. These are possible. Open ending does not rob a story of its sense of fulfillment. You know, perhaps you're correct in that it's not a perfect structured story in the way that it would be if she was going for a specific goal, but that's not her story. Her story's not about a specific goal, again, unless you count being a hero, which it felt like you're not counting that, so okay. You know, it would not be true to her story. The character limits on YouTube is killing me. That's fine. I mean, I'm always up for talking about this. We've been talking about it for like the past 2 hours. Oh. So, but yeah, I'm wondering if you'd seen Frieren. If you haven't seen Frieren, maybe you should check it out. You might like it. You still with us, Superhero 60? Interesting. I had a lot to learn about being an adventurer. So, let's see. I've been so perfect at ending these streams when I reach like a new scene break, but I'm just not at a scene break. I mean, I could just scene break it to them having lunch, which I guess skips like them leaving the bath. There's no real reason for that, but no, we just can't end it perfect. That's fine. We'll just go a little further, and then we'll call it a day. Once scrubbed up, we made our way back to the guild. Wait, we made our way back. No. Once scrubbed up, we had to decide where to eat. So where do you wanna go? I asked. My treat. I hear that there is. No, let's have her be a bit more nervous. If it isn't too much, what about the place Anzu lady on? No, let's not do it. Anzu works at. Her desserts were unlike anything I have ever had before. I would most certainly like to sample one more before leaving this town. Sounds like a plan, I said, smiling. You know what? This actually might work. We just skip the dinner. Because they've already talked a bunch. We had a bathhouse scene. They're going to be traveling together, so they're going to have plenty of opportunities to talk while eating. And we're just kind of dragging the scene a little bit. It's not like anything important would specifically happen over this conversation. So maybe we just call it right there. We're past 12,000. We've hit our goal for the day. We're past 3-hour mark, so yeah, no, I think that's good. I think we're gonna end it right there at the scene break. Then we'll start from the next day, where she gets her coins from. Oh, holy crap! Am I that laggy? I said that a while ago. No, I'll say it's only like 10 seconds behind. Yeah, then we can put a scene break here. So tomorrow, she'll get her coins for the Seraphim throat. We'll have her. We'll start the next scene with her having stayed at Yashko's room. Man, no. I don't know. I'm debating this. Because we could have them talking about traveling together at the lunch, at the dinner, I mean. That could be notable. And then we could lead to them going to their room. Yeah, no, I think we're going back to not scene breaking it. We're going to have the dinner. Okay. I said smiling. So we'll write a little more. We made... Anzu had one of the larger Anzu and her husband ran one of the larger restaurants in town. Her husband was known for cooking damn fine meals, but Anzu's desserts were still able to outshine him. So the two together were quite the combination. It was a fancy place, probably cost a gold coin a person there. But that was fine. Uh, she technically owed me a gold coin anyhow. Because they made a bet. So, let's see. Once we sat down, yeah. We decided to share a hot pot. So that would bring the cost down to more like 1 gold, 5 silvers. Plus, neither of us needed a full meal from this place. It was a bit watered down compared to what Mother made, but still had a respectable flavor. I'd argue that he was probably the third best chef I knew, not count or third chef I knew under Mother and Sir Theodore. Silver. But it still had a respectable flavor. Oh my gosh. Yasko said. It's so tasty. I don't think I have ever had such a good hot pot before. I gulped at the idea. Maybe adventuring food sucked way more than I realized. Yeah, no, Erica, you had a bit of sheltered life there. Gulped at the idea. Maybe adventuring food sucked way more than I realized. I'm glad you like it. I love it, he said. Thank you. Yeah, let's just rip the band-aid off. Let's just have her go straight to it. I was wondering, is there a reason you travel alone? As a healer, it seems like you'd do well on a party. She looked down. Now here's an interesting question, because there's so many different answers we could have here. Why is she adventuring alone? Did she have a bad experience with the party? Did something happen? Did her party die? Did she fail them as a healer? Did they reject her as a healer? Did they find a better healer? Did they just not think they need a healer? There's so many possibilities. But me, I kind of just go with my instincts on this one. And my instincts say this. we I was part of a team once, but we had kind of a falling out at a party. You do well on a party. No, at would be wrong. It that would normally be right in like normal conventions, but party here is group on a group, at a group. We had kind of a falling out. No, I like the pause. We had kind of a falling out. How come? I asked. If it isn't rude to, right? Unless I'm crying? Unless I'm crying? No, it's okay. The issue was just money. Our issue was just coins. See, as a healer, my talents can be rare, and curing illness can fetch a high coin, a high price from nobility, but commoners can't afford that. She said. So I would charge commoners very little or nothing at all, and a few nobles learned of that and got mad at me. My team made at me. No, mad. My team wanted me to start charging everyone the same, but I couldn't. I couldn't force those commoners into that situation. And I didn't. And while my healer talents were valued, they didn't exactly fetch me coins every town. So my party wouldn't compromise to me just doing it for less all around. Isn't that kind of sad? This thought where she's just like, yeah, like I might heal the warrior in battle, but he doesn't always need that. And when we're at town and we have to stock up on supplies, the funds come out of our group fund. Everyone's like, everyone needs to eat. Everyone needs, fresh cloths and fresh, to do laundry, soap. And that usually comes out of our group thing. But when the hero, when the warrior, when the mage are all fighting and earning coin from killing monsters, and I'm not, They thought I would start, they thought it was unfair. It was fair when every once in a while I would make like a bunch of coins from curing a noble. But if I lost the ability to do that, then they didn't consider me worth keeping around. And if I had to charge fair, that meant I would need to charge the commoners more, and that would be the same as killing them. So as much as I liked being part of a group, I'd rather be alone and know that I could heal whoever I want than be part of a group and not have that freedom. God, I made myself all teary-eyed. Obviously, I'm not going to write all of that. That's sort of what I was trying to get here, though. So, what does that sound? Do you like her? Yashiko, your girl? Well, my healer talents were valued. They didn't fetch me a coin in every town. For less all around. That's so heartbreaking, I said, tears in my eyes. You know what? We might just try to push to the next scene break. So, said with tears in my eyes, those jerks. Oh, and this goes back. Oh, crap. This goes back to our notes. One of Theodore's lines. Because you are scared, if it helps you, that is way more important than gold. Yeah, so Theodore didn't value gold. So neither does Erica. Like, those jerks. Huh? Yashiko said. Not sure I'd go that far. I understood their position. It was only fair. Valuing gold more than saving people is pathetic. Yeah. What kind of hero does that? I said. Hero? Said with a chuckle. I never said they were heroes. I'm certainly no hero. What are you talking about? I said. I asked. You travel from place to place to help people out of the kindness of your heart. So much so that you tried to convince the Lord to recall his bounty. You're a hero in my book. And I'd be happy to travel with you. You are a hero in my book. She blushed. Really? I have been traveling alone for quite some time. The company might be nice, actually. Really? I said, grabbing her hand. We could travel together? Never been on my own before. I could really use someone like you who's more experienced. I was gonna just wing it. I realize today how much more you know than I do. Someone who is much more experienced. Who is more experienced. Ah, it's a deal. It's a deal, he said. With that, we resumed eating and had Anzu's special, which tonight was let's see. Oh, let's have her do like a mousse cake. Was a which was a mousse filled cake. Not even something my mother could make. When it comes to desserts, when it comes to desserts, mother would be the one taking the bronze. The funny thing about this is that means she thinks Anzu's taking the silver and that Theodore's taking the gold. No, at this point in the story, Anzu would be way better than Theodore. Her mother's probably better than Theodore at this point. But it just kind of shows that mentality she has. She can't picture Theodore as not being the best. It's ludicrous to her to imagine Theodore isn't the best, which I think is interesting in its own way. So then we went back to her room. Since we were both adventurers, it felt right. My first night since becoming an adult that I got to sleep somewhere new. I couldn't be happier. And scene break. Boop, boop. All right, we're gonna call it there. So tomorrow they'll register as a team, because you can register with the guild as a team. And then after that, we will have her collect her stuff because she hasn't collected her stuff yet. And she'll get her report back on her assess. Oh my god, I spent like 25 minutes on thinking of what her magical talents were going to be. And I didn't even write her getting her test results back today. Oh, I fail. But yeah, so we'll do the assessment next time, which will be Saturday. I'm taking tomorrow off because the Overlord movie is coming to America, and I'm in America and I want to see it. So yeah, no, it's happening. Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So definitely be coming back Saturday, and hopefully I can get ahead of the curve. So, you know, I'll try to come back on Sunday, maybe Monday, I don't know, maybe Tuesday I'll take a break again. I want to get ahead of the curve because right now I'm still kind of behind because I know I'm not going to write tomorrow, which means I'm going to be behind because I think I'm like right at par right now. So, but we'll get it covered. We'll get it handled. So, almost 13,000 words, 7 days in. I think we're doing okay. But for now, that'll be it. I know I didn't end up doing the game today or the anime night. Well, I might do anime like later tonight in my usual time. I wanted to do an early one, but it seems like that was not for today. So, but that's on my Discord. So, link in the comments. Oh wait, what did he say? Something about Overlord. I am not into it. You're not a fan of Overlord. That's valid. Like, part of me is like, what? Because it's like one of my favorites, but I understand it's not for everyone. And plus, that's one of the beautiful things about writing is, you know, is everyone has a different taste in what they love. And if that one's not for you, then that's absolutely valid. And, you know, whatever ones are for you, that's equally valid. But it's definitely one of my personal favorites. So I'm excited. All right. Yeah, so have a good night. And like I said, 100% Saturday. Even if I'm tired, I'm coming in. Well, I still feel bad that I didn't show up yesterday, especially when I said I'm like definitely gonna show up yesterday. So I want to do more games too, but I'm trying to like balance out the fact that I want to complete my Nano project of 50,000 words. So, and the person that helps me with thumbnails has been inactive. So, and I'm not very good at making thumbnails myself. So. Okay, but see you Saturday. Take care and bye-bye.